Okay, here we are for part 4 of 2007 New York Giants Super Bowl season. We continue with Week 13 at Philadelphia. The Giants are 8-4. The Eagles are 5-7. The Eagles are a 3-point favorite in this game. A low-scoring affair here. The Eagles were up by 1 point at the half, but again, the Giants off to a struggling start. 2 short field goals by Lawrence Tynes of 19 and 23 yards. But the Giants defense chased Donovan McNabb all over the field. Eli was 17 of 31, so not great. 218 yards and a touchdown. But Plaxico Burress had a big day. 7 catches, 136 yards, and a touchdown. Jacobs ran the ball okay too, 22 rushes for 70 yards. But the funny thing is, if you think back to the beginning of the season and how everyone was laughing at the defense and they allowed 80 points in their first 2 games, the one game that really turned their defensive season around was against Philadelphia, where O.C. Umenyiora had the 6 sacks against McNabb. And they just pressured McNabb too this entire game as well. So the defense really kept the Giants in these games that the offense was struggling, which was a complete turnaround from earlier in the season. Right here, Eli will scramble out and hit Plax, and then he will hit him here, and he will take it all the way to the house for the touchdown. That made the score 13-10 Giants. That was late in the third quarter. Tynes added a field goal to make it 16-10 Giants. Akers would kick a field goal for the Eagles of 39 yards with 8 minutes to go to make it 16-13. And then he would try to rush onto the field to attempt a game-tying field goal and push the game into overtime. Right here, 57 yards. But the kick was no good. And it looked like the Giants were on their way to another victory. Akers on the ground, couldn't believe it. It hit the upright with 1 second left. This marked the 6th straight road win for the Giants in ugly fashion yet again. But a win is a win, and the Giants will obviously take the victory and move on to our next game, coming home to face Washington. And the article reads, "Living on the edge. Winning isn't easy for the Giants." Damn right. And then we go on to the Redskin game. It was a Sunday night game. The Giants were 6.5-point favorites at home. The Redskins needed this game to get into the playoffs. And unfortunately, you're seeing Jeremy Shockey here helped off the field. He broke his leg in this game, and he was out for the remainder of the season. So a big missing piece for the Giants. But Kevin Boss does score a touchdown there for New York. Eli has a terrible game, one of his worst as a pro, 18 of 53 on a very windy day at the Meadowlands. Todd Collins is the quarterback there for Washington. He also had a horrible game. So just a dreadful game for prime time. A bad home loss for the Giants. So the season was on the line in Game 15 as the Giants traveled up to Buffalo to face the Bills. They knew they had the undefeated Patriots in Week 16 waiting for them, and they needed to win one out of these last 2 games. And the New England game in Week 16, you weren't beating them most likely, so you had to beat Buffalo. This was a must-win for the Giants. Another shocking loss with Shockey out, but the Giants had to win this one to get into the playoffs. So they're 3-point favorites. Eli and the Giants struggled coming out of the gate again. They were down 14-0 at the end of the first quarter, and you really felt like they came off that crappy Washington game where they just laid an egg at home. They really didn't play great against Philadelphia, and then they came out awful against Buffalo. But they did come back in the second quarter of this game, scoring 17 unanswered points to take a 3-point lead at the half. However, Buffalo scored a touchdown in the third quarter on a Marshawn Lynch 3-yard run to give the Bills a 21-17 lead. And the Giants knew that this was their season. They had to win this game in the fourth quarter. They were down by 4, and boy, oh boy, did they pour it on with a 21-0 showing in the fourth quarter. Unbelievable. Kavika Mitchell had a 20-yard interception return, and Ahmad Bradshaw had this very memorable 88-yard rush that you're seeing right here through the snow with the NY sticker on his helmet flapping off in the wind as he crosses the goal line. Just a very memorable moment for Giants fans. And Corey Webster ices the game with a pick six with about 6 minutes to go. Right here, a 34-yard interception return for a touchdown. So the Giants do what they have to do and win the game. But Eli Manning, again, was only 7 of 15 for 111 yards. He completed 7 passes in the whole game. Not very inspiring stuff. And also threw 2 interceptions. So going into the playoffs now that the Giants, they clinched the 5 seed, but you don't have much confidence in Eli whatsoever. A terrible Minnesota game, a bad Bear game, then Buffalo, who he really didn't play that well against either, and the horrible Washington game. So not a good end of the season run for him here. So it was on to the final game of the regular season, and what a finale it was. Even though this game meant nothing to the Giants, they played their starters and wanted to knock off the Patriots. And I remember being at this game, and I wanted to face the Patriots at 15-0, just to make the game a little bit more enticing. The Patriots were 13.5-point favorites on the road. That's just how dominant they were this year in 2007. And the Giants really had nothing to lose. This was their playoff barometer game. Like, how well are you going to play against these good teams? Now let's give a listen to Michael Strahan before the game.
I tell you right now, baby, you got everybody watching. They ain't here for us. I'll be honest, 2 things that bother me. 1, most think we just supposed to come out here and lay down and let them have this. And 2, the Giants are in the playoffs. They ain't got nothing to play for. Rest their guys so they don't get hurt. They're in the playoffs too. Why ain't they guys sitting on the bench? You right now, you gonna put them on the side. You gotta stop that. New York Giants, man. There's a lot behind that name. Let's go. New York Giants on 3. 1, 2, 3. New York Giants.
Okay, so here we go. We're going to keep track of the score on the bottom of the screen throughout this one. So the Giants started off well, and the very first drive of this game, they had this long pass down the field to Plaxico, and I remember the crowd just erupting when he caught this ball over Ellis Hobbs. Then on the next the next play, Manning hit Jacobs on this little crossing pattern, and he reached across the goal line. And on the first drive of the game, the Giants come right down the field and score a touchdown. And that's when you kind of knew, like, hey, we were here to play tonight. And the Giants wanted this game, even though it meant absolutely nothing to them. They got pressure on Brady throughout the course of the night, and this kept this game very close. It was an extremely entertaining game, back and forth. And here, Brady, you could see, is getting pressured by the Giants. Just a little preview of what he'll see in the Super Bowl. But the fans were into it from the first kickoff to the last gun. Now the Patriots are up 10-7 here in the second quarter. They kick off. Dominic Hickson, because Bradshaw was inactive this game with an injury, takes the kickoff all the way back for a touchdown, 74 yards to give the Giants a 14-10 lead in the second quarter. And now you're starting to believe that this could be possible. Well, New England takes the lead back at 16-14 and 2 field goals by Gostkowski. But then right before the half, Eli engineers a drive right down the field, and with 13 seconds to go in the half, you're thinking they may kick a field goal and take the lead 17-16 at the half. But no. Eli fires a touchdown to Kevin Boss, Shockey's replacement, and the Giants take a 21-16 lead going into the halftime, into the locker room. They're up by 5, and you're thinking to yourself, we got 2 quarters left to play. We can make a historic win right here at home in front of our fans and do something that nobody else could do. We start the third quarter. Giants get the ball. They come right back down the field. Eli Manning rolls to his right. He hits Burris in the back of the end zone, a tremendous pass for a touchdown. Now you're up 28-16, and now you're believing, like, hey, we could do this. You're up by 12, up by 2 scores against the undefeated New England Patriots, going for history at home. But as New England has done all year long, they come back. Lawrence Maroney had a 6-yard touchdown rush to cut the lead to 5. Patriots get the ball back. Brady says enough of this. He steps back and launches an absolute missile to Randy Moss down the sideline. Wide open to set the record for most touchdown receptions in a season, most touchdown passes in a season, and the Patriots take the lead 31-28 They never looked back from there. But Eli Manning had the best game in a very, very long time, and this gave the Giants players and fans confidence that he could play well in the playoffs. He threw for 251 yards and 4 touchdowns against the best team in the NFL. So I remember wanting to play the Patriots again, as crazy as that seems. Watching this game, you felt like you had them. You were right there, and you were just so mad that you lost and you wanted to see them again. Here are some articles from after the game. Patriots make history. Sweet 16 in the regular season, 16-0 obviously, and it was on to the playoffs. So I really hope you enjoyed part 4. We will conclude this series with part 5 in the next few days, which will be the most exciting part of this, which will be the playoff run. So I hope you will join me for that. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.